Yo guys, happy Sunday. Guys, today I'm bringing you all of my trading setups. I've gone long in the market. I'm long on Bitcoin, I'm long on multiple altcoins, and I'm going to continue building altcoin positions. However, in this area that we're in now, right? I don't want to chase it too high after the bounce, right? I'm still waiting for the short squeezing play. We do have weekly divergences, and I'm playing full out scenario A. And scenario A for me, right, is this area of a strong bounce from here to $72,000. So I want to give you guys the buy zones that I'm currently in, right? As well as where am I putting stop losses, where am I putting my take profit points, what tools am I using to identify these areas, right? And what altcoins are on my radar for the next major breakouts. Hope you guys had a great Sunday or having a great weekend so far. No wasting time. Let's go.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like 𝗨𝗵𝗹𝗶𝗄. Welcome to Sheldon Show.
Fam. Okay, guys, hope you guys are doing fantastic. Again, a mindset shift right now is, for me, there's two scenarios. If scenario A, which means 58,000, there's multiple reasons why on the weekly, right? This is the best risk to rewards to enter right now. Best stop loss areas, best risk to reward, lots of reward versus risk, right? Scenario B is below the 57,000, right? Which means the risk right now is not a lot, right? And if it plays out, it's really good in favor. And for me, there's more scenarios that are currently saying that this will bounce. This area is the bounce area versus lower down. So I'm starting to long out the market. I've been waiting multiple weeks for this, right, area to play out, and I'm now tapping into it. And I'm not seeing a super strong Bitcoin dominance. Therefore, I'm opening up my radar to a bunch of altcoins in play as well. Before we jump through and go through all the charts, guys, I do want to remind you guys that I have a challenge starting tomorrow, 24 hours. Right, I'm teaching you how to build a $100 day trading business. Right, I'm using $400. So for me, many times $400 can make me $100 a day consistently. But there's three pillars to learn. Right, it's the charting side, it's the leverage side, and it's the rules and your daily routines to follow through. Which tokens do you trade? Where do you put your stop loss? You know, your systems to follow. Right, this is going to be very powerful for you to learn. So it's 3 days, 1 hour of your time per day. And then at the end of it, we're going to do a 3-hour live trading session where I'm going to demonstrate the entire system in front of you, as well as automate it for you guys as well. So we are 8 hours away from this opening up already. We're already about 70 to 80% full, right? So here, put in your name, put in your email address. Here's the link over here to sign up, book your spot for tomorrow. We're already around 390 people in that are already booked. So book up, guys. Join me tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. Not a lot of time commitment, but it's really powerful to get ready for the next rally. Okay, so again, guys, let me just show you where we're at. Right now, it makes sense for me to long the markets. Right, we have the long-term trend over here. We have the main 618. Right, so for me, you guys know I'm long Bitcoin, and I even open more positions on Bitcoin, multiple positions. But it's quite clear to long between this late 58,000s to late basically 59,000s to early 60,000s, right? This area over here is my long spot, that's support, right? And there is my stop loss area over here. Remember, we do have the bullish divergence in play. It is a daily, so it can take a couple of days to play out. We're going into weekly close. Now, I want to speak around weekly close for a second, right? There's two scenarios that play out. So let's go in over here. The first one is that we see a buy up today in the next 12 hours, and we end up at 63,000, right? If not, if we just hover around here, what I see then is the early start of Monday. I see another pullback a little bit into the zone, and I actually see an absorbing candle come to the upside. For me right now, what I want to see in the next week and what I am preparing for is a push up to the areas of 65, if not even 67 and slightly higher. We'll see if it's going to happen in 1 week or over 2 weeks, right? But that is the play. I'm actually looking at a strong push coming at any point. So getting back to the actual charts here on Bitcoin itself, right? This is where I'm looking to long. Now, another cool tool that you can use, or just a thing, here is the trend line over there. It's telling us we're not far away if we're going to have the bullish momentum today. If not, we're going to trickle down for a little bit, and then we're looking for the momentum push up. So this is where I'm building Bitcoin positions right now. Stop losses are just under these lows here. My stops are around $57,400. Again, if we come here, we start thinking 40,000. Quite clear that this is the bull scenario that needs to play out. Okay, and if we obviously look at risk to rewards, they are looking really, really, really good. Now let's speak about upside, right? My first TPs, I have two TPs on Bitcoin. My first one's sitting at 67,000. My second one is sitting at 71,000. Right, those are my two TPs right now. This is mid time frame. This is basically catching the bounce, right? taking some profits, and then resetting and looking for next positions. Because after that, we could do something like that, or we can crack through, be this side, and there'll be some more opportunities to come into play. Then if we look at things like Ethereum, right, here's ETH over here. This for me is the entry zones on ETH, right, which is here between this early 1500s to late 1500s with stops just below 1500s under these lows, right? We do have a slightly little higher low in play here, which does mean if you draw a trend line between the two, right, it does mean that we have a bunch of support in this area here, as well as short-term 618s, 786s, right? There's a lot of areas over here. And again, another nice little trend that you can use, right? You could even trigger on the trend if you want to in the zone to break a trend, no problem. But I've built a bunch of Ethereum positions over here where I'm seeing ETH going, 2 TPs, the one at 1750, the second one at 1890. Short-term bounce or mid-term bounce over the next week or two. Hopefully it's a lot faster. We should see a fast short squeeze at any moment, but that is where I'm looking to tap, to take TPs on ETH. Then I'm long in Solana, right? Sol is a little bit stronger in this market right now than the rest. So I don't know if we're going to come down to the bottom of the zones just yet, but I do have between 68 and 72, right? But if we actually just zoom in a little bit here, right, the key zone to pay attention to here is this one, right, which is basically this early $70 range. This one, however, is a spot trade, so it's not a super high leverage trade because I need to give it a little bit more room, right? So this one, unless it comes down and somehow I can get an entry here at, you know, the 67, 68, then it's a cool leverage position. But other than that, it's a bit of a spot position because I need to put stops. I need to give it some space. So my stops are sitting around $64. My first TP is at 92. My second one's at 105. Definitely one of the stronger alts that I'm seeing right now. We also have the 200-day moving average at 92. Right, so that for me is a big area of where I'm looking to TP. Then I want to show you guys this one over here, which is Injective. Yes. Okay, that is quickly shooting a show. Okay, thank you. Love you. See you now. We're having a little lunch, family lunch. Okay, guys, this is the next one that I'm paying attention to, which is Injective. So there's two areas that I'm looking, or the bigger zone that I'm looking at is 4.4 to 4.7. We're now at 4.6, right? I do see us possibly coming down a little bit into the lower parts over here. It's a nice 4-hour trend you can put in play as well, but I'm long in this for push up to 6.1 to 7.1, and my stop loss is under the 200-day average, moving average, and the 786 Fibonacci. So anywhere here between this early $4 to around the 4.1 is my stop loss areas of where I'm putting on Injective, right? Then I have Near Protocol, which I'm not longing yet, okay? But this one I'm going to be trading on a trend line. So this one is a little bit, it's basically lost these previous lows. So I don't want to, there's no major crazy supports that I can see on high time frames. However, it's very close to resistance. So again, I'm very bullish on this token, okay, but I'm going to long this resistance. So I'm keeping an eye on the resistances here. I've already set my TPs at 2.4 and 2.88. Those are the areas of where I'm going to look to TP, but I'm going to long on this trend. So here's a trend line one when I see a 4-hour close outside the trend with a nice tight stop loss, good risk to reward that I'm seeing over there. Then I want to speak around AVAX, which is coming to entry now, right? It's pushing down. I'm looking at the early $6 mark, right? $6.1 to around the 6.25. These are big areas I'm paying attention for longs. 5.9 is a short-term stop loss, right? Which means something that I'm leveraging a little bit aggressively. Okay, bigger stops, which is a higher time frame under the 786. So again, you take a Fibonacci from bottom to top, right? And you kind of want to clear the 786. So around 5.85, this will be a little bit of a more spot stop loss area. Where I'm looking at us going 7.6 and 8.6. These are the, so again, these are all trades that I am taking. Here's Render. Render's one of my favorites as well. Coming to the zone. My zones I'm looking is between 1.5 and 1.54. So we are slowly starting to come into the buy zones now. With the stop loss at 1.46 is where I'm putting my stops. And I'm looking at a push up to 1.86 and $2.2. Right, those are my Render positions. Then I'm building a 𝗬𝗵 position right now. Right, I'm building 𝗬𝗵 basically here between the 66.5 cents to the areas of the 69-cent mark. We're actually sitting at 68 cents 50 as we speak, right? So we could see again, I do see, let's just speak short time frame. I do see Bitcoin pulling down possibly maybe to the mid 59,000s, and we should start seeing some strength to the upside, right? Which means if I go back to 𝗬𝗵 over here, we could be dropping a little bit lower to around the 67.5 0.5 cent mark, right? My stops are sitting below the 786, right, at around 65.6 cents. Right, those are the major altcoins that I am paying attention to. Now, if we go through a couple of your guys' lists and one that I was looking at, right, something like Zcash, guys, there are tons of support. We're at the 200-day over here. The trend is the long signal for me, right? So things like that, I'm putting the trend, right? When it comes to Ondo, the problem with Ondo is it's sitting below the 200-day moving average right now. Once it gets above, it turns really bullish. But right now, something like this, I'm also just tracking with a trend line. Right, so the ones that I'm seeing that are showing a little bit more strength, like this one might be decent, which is 𝗓𝗏 for the higher low, right? So we're looking for 𝗓𝗏 to come down over here and then start making its way up. This could be a nice 20 to 30% trade over here. You can actually track this with a trend as well and go long with a stop loss over there. So 𝗓𝗏 is one to pay attention to. You guys spoke around Chainlink as well. Chainlink, not bad, but these are quite far from the trends. So again, once we get a bit of confidence in the market, I see all alts start to ramp up. Okay, but right now I'm kind of trading a little bit more of the strength ones, but I need to put these trends in so when these alts are ready, I can catch them. Right. If we look at Dogecoin, again, still quite far, right? Still quite far from the trend lines. So these I'm giving it a little bit of time. GRT, one we spoke about as well. Right, this one, there's the trend, clear trend, giving it time. Once it breaks a trend, that's the long signals. I'm paying attention to 𝗨𝗃, not long yet, but I do have this trend in play, and I will be longing 𝗨𝗃 on the break of that trend. Right, let's go. Let's see 𝗬. How's 𝗬 doing? Again, 𝗬 as well, very nice trend line. Right, so just keep the trends in play, be nice and patient. Once they break, stop loss under the previous lows. Guys, again, sign up to this event. I'm very excited about this. I haven't done like a live education for many months. You guys know I've trained up to like 170,000 students through Sniper School. So I'm super pumped to do this again. So sign up over here, join. Lots of love to you guys. Big jam-packed week this week. Shows on Banter, challenge happening, as well as shows on Sniper Training. So subscribe to there as well. Have a fantastic day. Thank you guys for watching. Where is my ending screen? I don't know if my team here. Where is my ending screen? Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.